Dziękuję Varmajan. Jesteśmy się drolling. I'm Will Tugama. Kind of bummed out this morning after finding out last night that the pipe company McClelland is out of business. You know, first it was Dunhill, they're gone, and now McClelland. So there's some of my favorite blends, both of those companies, that I'll never have again. It's kind of a lesson about life, you know? Enjoy it while you have it. Nothing is permanent. Things are always changing. And there's something to celebrate about that. Things are always changing. We focus on the growth. Who knows what will come next? Now that I like. Prospects for adventure. So good morning to you guys. Let's get a pipe together. And I wanted to talk to you about an argument that I had with somebody last night. It started off as a nice conversation. Turned into a debate. Got a little heated. And then it turned into a flat-out argument. Of which I decided I'm not going to entertain this. And I didn't entertain it. I just, simply was firm with my boundaries and said this is not going to happen this way. And the topic is the topic of this video. Fake Druids. So while I'm getting this together, I want you to think of things that you would say, this is a real druid. And for me, that means Dri. And this is a fake druid, which to me means druid. I have no idea where that pipe tool went. So, you had a moment to think about it. What is a real druid? And as I mentioned, to me that means Dri. All too often, you have the New Age movement with this hippie attitude of, I can do whatever I want, I can say whatever I want, and it doesn't matter because, I can do whatever I want. I call myself a druid. Sure, you can. You can call yourself a Freemason. You can call yourself the sailor of a ship. It doesn't actually magically transform you into what you're calling yourself. It's a title. It's a social position. It's a job description. It's something that is earned. You can call yourself a rabbi. It doesn't mean you're a rabbi. Other rabbis will look at you and be like, that's not a rabbi. That's something else. We have in this neo-druid movement title seekers. Or they just, I'm on the path of druidry, or, they're seeking some sort of spiritual tradition that's Celtic, so they call it druidry. Maybe they've read a couple books, and maybe they just entered some course material, and they're druids now. Nope. Or maybe yes, maybe they are druids because that's their thing. That's the anglicized term, druid. So that's their thing. So maybe that's how they run it. Maybe that's their thing. And I'm telling you, when I hear the word druid, number one, I'm usually triggered, and I'm usually like head at desk, like, here we go again. Someone thinks they're a druid. They read the 21 Lessons of Merlin. Nope. The word itself is very clear about what it is within the culture, within the society, of its job function, what these people did and what they still do. So to say that, we're over here calling ourselves druids, wearing white robes, looking like Princess Leia, wondering about Neolithic stone circles, has nothing to do with druidry. Well, it has everything to do with druidry and nothing to do with the cultural aspect of, the Gale. So, fake druids. I'm sure every, branch of paganism has their fluffy bunnies. And I'm sure there's fluffy bunnies even within modern druidry. People that are obsessed with, magic or power. People that use fantasy for escapism instead of actually, addressing the problem, correcting the problem, working with the problem. How can you be expected to be a Druid, to be someone who counsels others, is there for others, if you're not healthy already? You can't be. You have to be healthy. You have to constantly battle, struggle, and fight to know thyself, to work on the self. Mind, body, and spirit. People always focus on one, very intellectual. Well, that's wonderful that you're intellectual. But, you're lazy and you don't, get exercise or eat right or sleep right, and, you're out of shape. Well, you know what? That's going to affect the mind. Ultimately, in turn, the body and the mind are connected. So if you're 5'5" at 300 pounds, you can't really be claiming to me that you're spiritual and that you're, mentally on board with the path. Because it shows through your physical nature that you're not. Now, I'm not ranting here about the health aspect and people's weight. Your weight is your weight, and you got to deal with that. So long as it's not keeping you from enjoying the things that you do or that you'd like to be doing. Are you out of breath when you're tying your shoes? Can you exercise without getting winded? Stuff like that, What do you like to do? I like to do this and this. I can't do this and this because I don't feel well. Well, then don't adjust your weight. The weight will come off. when you start making healthy choices. That's it. Mind, body, and spirit. Trying to balance them is hard. Focusing on one, the other one's kind of take a back seat. Can't do that. Gotta try to weave them together. Trinity knot. So this concept of real druid or fake druid. I'll give my opinion here on a real druid, of which, for the sake of this video, we will call Drui, which is the Irish word for druid, which can be spelled two different ways: Draoi fada or Drui fada. Fada meaning the accent mark. If I remember, I'll throw the spellings below. For me, a real druid starts with education. A long education. Now, I did a video similar to this. Very similar to this. Drui versus druid. It might be druid versus Drui. But it's worth revisiting that video as well. To me, the real version of a druid starts with education. Time spent, years spent with education. Many years. And then a community that requires your services, you know, employs you. You have to have an active service to be doing. If you're not serving a people, if you're not teaching or counseling or using your education, then you're just some knowledgeable person, and that's not a Drui. What I don't like, and it really irks me, is when I've come across, and it wasn't just yesterday or the day before either, but it happens all the time. You get modern druids that belong to OBOD and ADF, and you know, they might have completed the course material or done the training, got their certification, what have you, and all of a sudden, here it comes: I'm a druid priest. Do you know how fucking ridiculous that sounds? I'm a druid priest. You're a fucking gobshite is what you are. But yeah, I guess you could be a druid priest. But you're not a Drui. There's no culture at you. A druid priest. That makes me laugh. I'm a satanic atheist. I'm a crystal shaman druid mage from Atlantis, and I'm 5,000 years old. Yep. Sipping on the chai tea. A druid priest sounds ridiculous. Don't use the word priest. Don't use the word druid. Don't put them together. never functioned as priests. They functioned more like a rabbi. You'd say, well, what's the difference? There's a big difference. You'd have to look into that. Culturally, there's a difference. Job description, there's a difference. Of what they do and how they do it, there's a difference. To be a Druid priest. I keep going on and on about that. Honestly, it's offensive. It's a spit in the face towards the culture. But I'm not going to focus on that. Because you know what? You can call yourself whatever you want. But I reserve the right to dismiss you and call you a fool. Because it's offensive to the culture. It's offensive to my ancestors. And if you want to be some sort of title seeker, because it's boosting your ego, because you want the attention, because you want people to validate your existence, because you actually don't have a culture, because you don't actually have a people. You don't even have to use the word priest with me. Speak, I'm a druid. Then I automatically know where you're coming from. Have you ever heard of stolen valor? Stolen valor is when you get these people wearing military uniforms and they're caught by people that are either active or vets that actually have worn that uniform, that people have died, their friends have died wearing that uniform. Army, Navy, Air Force, SEALs, all sorts of different branches of, Rangers. You see these people wearing these uniforms. Their patches are wrong, their pins are wrong, their boots are wrong. And then you get these people in the military that call them out on their shit. Take that uniform off. There's people faking it. They fake it to get a discount at Starbucks. They fake it to get, a better seat on an airplane. Because civilians don't know the difference. And a lot of druids are faking it. Because they realize, if I keep using the word druid, maybe I'll get some respect or some authority, or people will take me seriously because, I'm a druid. It's a little bit different than being a witch. When you follow the path of witchcraft and you're a witch, you're just a witch. You're not claiming to be, high priestess of blah blah blah. Well, then, we'll say, well, what coven do you belong to? And there's questions to be had. But if you're just a witch, you're a witch. Not everybody was a druid in ancient times, just like they're not now. There's nothing wrong. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the honesty of saying, I'm a Gaelic pagan. I'm a Gaelic polytheist. I follow the ways of my ancestors. You don't have to be a Druid. You don't have to be Druid. Not everybody was the teacher. The councilman. The advisor. It's upsetting. But we're about 20 minutes. Kind of ranted enough. I'll link that other video to this one. I don't know, I think I made my point. You want to call yourself a druid? Then, you know what? Then call yourself a druid. It doesn't actually make you a druid. Two different things. Fake druids. Fake druids are also people that don't belong to orders, that just claim title druid. Another example, just quickly. In the martial arts, you work your way up with your belts in most systems. You have a sensei. You might have a shihan. Your sensei has gone that way before you. He knows the path. He's your instructor. You can't walk into any dojo and simply say, well, yeah, I'm a black belt. And they'll be like, okay, sure. Well, I didn't take this style, I took that style. That sensei, even though unfamiliar with that style, will at least have some sort of knowledge on that style. And would clearly be able to tell that you are bullshitting him about your, your claim to fame with your black belt. We can't say like, well, yeah, I have blah 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 with like Kung Fu or Jeet Kune-do or Ishinryu, and then go to like a jiu-jitsu school and be like, well, this is what I know. They can test you. They'll know. Because as you get higher and higher within the rank system, every tradition in school has a means of council members, your senseis, plural, where you are tested. You cannot pass to the next unless you're proficient. Like in Freemasonry, your work must be proficient. And if it's not, then you cannot pass to the next degree. Neo-Druidry doesn't have that. So people can just walk around being like, look at me, I'm a druid. I got the robes on, I must be a druid. I read these books, I'm a druid. Okay. Have fun with that. I don't have anything to worry about. I have chai tea. You guys have a good day. I don't know if I'm going to have a good day today. I got a lot of shit going on. It's going to be a busy one. Which usually means that my day is crappy, but the nights are usually nice when the days are crappy. Remain positive. Embrace the suck and party on. So long, a